All right, GTA 6 live, as it's been announced on the same day Elon Musk / SpaceX crashes back down to Earth, and then we get the 4 quakes in California, Venezuela, and Japan. So let's tie these things together for us in a little bit of another perspective and get into some deep waters that you may not be used to if you're new to this channel. But we see the no disk. The disk is tied to the so-called aliens. And the dicks, as far as that parable, and the floppy dicks, the Microsoft, growers versus showers, those types of things, as far as that Bill Gates and the window into heaven, the Facebook, and the Epstein, the college, all these things are all going together as far as that legislation. And this is where some type of unit has come in and done some bad things and taken control over some stuff with some blackmail situations. And then you have the good doing bad to do good. So this is where somebody had to do kind of the same thing, and maybe take it to another level, and then they have to carry it back, right? So this is where robbing Peter to pay Paul, the Robin Peter, we see as far as Joseph Robinetta Biden, which also equals a 747. The 747 is connecting your 46/47, and that's Trump, and that's Biden stuff coming in as far as the begotten son, the 10. And the begotten son is tied into the computer, the 1 and 0, the God is binary, that kind of stuff. And then that's tying into the gaming situation, 1962, 1971. And we're going to get into some of these things and tie stuff together. But the forcing online, this is part of that snapping of the Knicks, the Necks, and the Spurs, and the horse riders. So as the Knicks, the NYX, the Void, and Elon Musk, and Bitcoin, all these things are being worked into the Dow and the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is the NOSX, the Xmas, the Christmas, all that stuff, the oil, where we can see Elon Musk being a secret child of George Bush. This is tying into some of these things as far as the computer stuff on the dark speak, and the mirror of the Lincoln Kennedy memorial stuff going on, and that reflection pool. So this is where the theater and the Ford, all that kind of stuff is all lining up, okay? So in a different way for the Bushnells. And so this is where Elon Musk or Obama might be secret sons of Bush family and the Biden family, all right? And then you also have the Lee family, which is of the China and the Presley, which is part of the precedent and whatever. But this is America. The us and our is kind of controlled in one way, shape, or form. But this control system is where one person out is trying to come over and fuck all the families over in a way and take control over it one way. But this is where it's all set up in one way, shape, or form. And then there's things that they've done that's they don't necessarily even know that they were going to be doing, as far as the way I'm seeing and interpreting things or whatever. But this is where they say, the prophecies are true, and that kind of stuff. So the forcing online and the dark web and the Star Wars and all that stuff, this is where the GTA 6 is being told to us that you can make money or you work positions and whatever else. This is the merge of two worlds in a way. It's the birth, when you understand the 250 on America, and then the 1948 to the 48, and then the day 6-7, and the 4-5, and all those kinds of things. And then this, all these things happen on day 113th month, 4-5 day, which is the 9, with the adding and the dividing line and those types of things, and the percentage. That percentage and that percentage and all those things overlapping, okay? But that's where we saw this going on. And then Elon Musk is born 1 year after the gay pride parade. So the gamers, the gay pride, all that kind of, the gay is the short for the Georgia. The Georgia is the G-O-R-G-A-I, and the George Washington, and they're showing you the American Experiment now that's being released, the documentary, whatever series or whatever, and they're showing you the Stamp Act and the man with a pitcher of water, the Washington coming into force, the buying and selling, and this way, shape, or form. And it tells you in the dark speak that he bribed these people for the most part, or it's kind of like what they're doing now for this control system. So otherwise, how would this one man be able to come in and take over a whole fucking nation? And the so-called 13 colonies would be tying into the people going into the age bracket where we saw in America before, right? But we're kind of an upside down world, and I'll get into that as far as the W is concerned in another video, or what, maybe this one, who knows where it all goes. But since we're in upside down world, the capitalism, this is where we're all at the bottom of one thing, and after the bottom of one thing, it's going to spread out and be a foundation into a new world and whatever else as you go into the underworld. And either way, the underworld's already here and risen as the petroleum system, as this image is given life. All these things are working together. It's not good or bad. It's where the Lord comes, and it tells you in Isaiah 45:7, which is the 45, 47, and these things that's playing out now, but it tells you that the Lord is the one who creates the good and evil and the light and dark and all that. So that's where the Lord, so to speak, has been programmed by this image given life, and through your TV, radio, religions, whatever, and this Elon Musk, or this Mahdi, the Mahdi, and these so-called antichrist figures come in and go against this religion, that religion, or whatever. And your religions are tied to your school, they're tied to your hospitals or your doctors, whatever, your amen that you go to for your healing or whatever. When he said, let food be thy medicine, not a pill or another man or whatever, okay? And it's all there. Everything is within us, and everything is connected. And the medicine, the food, the belly, the serpent, the frequencies, the food is what you partake in, what gives you life, what gives you life in the spirit and in the flesh. And the clean and the unclean spirits are all connected by the Holy Spirit, but they're divided by the Father and the Word. The Word is connected to the Jesus or the Son, the truth or whatever, but the Father, the Vader, is the one who holds the darkness and over the Son as he's at the right hand, and the right hand is being taken and guided and all those things. So that's where Elon Musk is, this dude over here, as far as the Antichrist on the petroleum system. And it could be the Bush family, the oil family coming in, and the oil probably getting low, the blood supply of Earth and whatever else, right? So this is where one's connected to the other. The Earth has been attacked, nuclear bombs, whatever, and Earth is probably sending out signals from there, and that's where we're so-called getting signals from space, but everything is like within us. So that's where it's recycling or whatever, and it's causing the so-called alien hybrid situation, to where men and women are getting signals of waves of up and down and whatever, and depending where you're at when you're born, on what day, and all these things are all going into what kind of, if you're going up or down and whatever. And it's just taking the whole earth into a system through the 80-20 rule, the 20-80 rule, and all that stuff. So this is where the first are last and the last are first, and we're all, it's just a control system. And so as the so-called age of Jesus and Satan, the positive, the negative, these images given life to create worlds. We see this in our own time frame with Elvis and the Beatles. And the Elvis did one thing, the Beatles did another thing. That's the 1 and the 4 for the 5 senses. And then you have the other ones that break off from that. And then you have the 2 king of rock and rolls, Chuck Berry and the Elvis Presley. So that's where you're going to tie into your Obama, Barry Soetoro, and all that kind of stuff, to your Elon Musk. So them forcing people online, this can cause the dark web on another level. And then this is where we're in a window into heaven, and the gaming and all these things set up here. And the upside down world is where we're having to do this, that, and the other for commerce, or like the banking where you have to wait days or hours to buy a car, all this stuff, right? We're going into where that parts of our old commerce or whatever all going to be done by the new hive. And the hive, you can see all around us, but this is where the hive, the HIV, and where the world is being set up this way, and it's being reset. But you have the real bees, the drones, and that kind of stuff flying in. And that's the alien invasion, and in a different aspect. So the drones and the Amazon rainforest and all that stuff, and this is also causing a frequency where the people are hearing these decibels, the bell worship and all that is triggering ups and downs as they take this, that, and the other out of food, drink, and whatever. And it's like the slowly but surely. So either way, the slowly is tied to one side of the dragon. For the Hebrews Lee, the dragon, the devil, the tribe of Judah, the sons of God, plural. It's not just Jesus is the son. Satan comes with the sons of God. There's many sons of God. So that's where you're on Epstein Island. And they're taking the daughters of men in one way, and then you're at that as far as the hospital too. So and then there's a war against the seed of the woman and such, and that's being shown in our world as the women go in there, and you got the C-section birth for the most part. Oh, the cord's wrapped around your baby's neck, even though the cord's 8 feet long and whatever else, and or 6 feet long, whatever feet. It's long enough to where you don't have to fucking worry about it. Okay, they don't worry about that stuff at a home birth. That's just there to feed you into the fear. Oh, you took your baby, and that's part of what for the snapping the neck and all that stuff. But all that will come out in another way. You're going into the Sims in the real world in another way, and the queen bee. The queen bee has already come in and changed the hive and all these things. And as this, you got these, the white horse rider, the white light and shit. The white is all the colors. Okay, when you see all the colors in a vivid format, what is that? That is a rainbow. So that's why it tells you that your Lord is killed in Sodom. All right, so that rainbow is also the UK crane, the rain kicking, the king set or whatever else, and that's tied into your Prince Harry and the Alpha and Omega, the Meghan. They're over here for a reason, and then Trump's been told you he's heirs of the, or part of the king family and all that shit. So the royal flush setting up in other ways, because we've already have 48th being told, 250 on America, and then the 52 on America is being told about when Trump came in. Oh, we need to do this 51 state. Oh, 52 state. Oh, we're just take over the incubation, the Cuba, and that's the incubator for the eagle, and all that stuff line up for your bald eagle. And either way, folks, so the secret son, the major German shepherd, the son, little boogie, bacteria holding information, the 48 to the 48, they're just kind of in that waiting game or whatever. This is where you can see the flu and the bugs and fleas and ticks and whatever else. They could have planted something into the White House in one way, shape, or form, or a double plant. That's where you have Biden doing one thing. Obama may have done one thing, Obama or Biden, and then you get the next person, Elon Musk, the Doge, the dog with the Bitcoin, and then the major. So that's where you see the Doge coming in, and his little kid went in there. They could be the bacteria holding information and everything being connected and whatever else. They might have this little bacteria reader, this and whatever else that they come in and read that way, or there might actually be a literal bug for the spy session. And then also Elon Musk has been in Trump's house and whatever else. This is where Elon Musk could be the secret son of Bush, and then Obama would be the secret son of Biden. One of these dudes, Bush or Biden, and it doesn't matter, one of them has a secret black family, and then another one has another family, the real family. And what you're seeing as far as the TV show or whatever, it's just all fucking actors or however it's all working, but it's not the real fucking family some of the time. A lot of these people, like, it seems to be Elon Musk, Biden, or whatever, they, JD Vance, they have a lavender marriage. All right. So they are gay breeders with women. There's gay men who just, or there's men who's just going to fuck anything. All right. And that would be kind of one of those kinds of dudes. But, and then that's also where you're like allowed like one chance. You if you do a butt plug or whatever, it's like adventurous, but you do it 2 times, you're a rainbow. So you don't need shoving shit up your ass. You don't need 2 times to figure out if you like it or not. Okay, you can tell with a pinky. You don't need to use a fucking butt plug first off. So either way, that's a whole nother thing. But that's where your white horse, that's offensive. But that's where they're also doing the reflection pool, to where you're going to have to talk about some of these things because you're in Sodom and Gomorrah. And you got to have that white horse rider, that consciousness of purity, all those rainbow colors in your head to be able to understand what I'm even saying, so you're not fucking triggered. And then you go through that Russian roulette situation with yourself. Program's just getting frazzled. Oh, he said fuck. He said fuck. I got to turn them off. Well, you obviously don't have Jesus, because Jesus has covered all my sins. And he says I can talk however I want. That I am not part of the bond. That I am part of the free. Okay? So, as your free is being tested, you're going into the bondage. And the bondage is tied into your 007 spy session. Okay? And the spy session is tied into the little boogie and the little bacteria. And have been on Joseph and Mary's back. Or Joseph and Mary on the donkey's back, going into the stable, and the stable coin and all those things. So, the internet and the gaming and the commerce and all these things can be going away in a way and restarting in another as the Web 3.0 comes in different ways, shapes, and forms, as your G6 or 6G comes, as your so as the capitalism and this commerce, this dark spirit, heaven and earth or whatever, it's coming and being gathered up in one way. As it does that, as that goes into the form of the Big Bang, right? And that little black hole and whatever thing. And then it starts expanding again. And that's where we're at as far as like physically on the world, the next until the 48, 49, and those things that's where we're into that little crunch zone. As the dawn of time, the 47, the 11, we're in the hallway of mirrors. We're actually, in some cases, when you get into, depending where you're in the mirror. And that's where the people are going into this. That's where we're at now. And the dragon's coming, and the man with the right hand, and he changes his right hand, and he has a bolt over there, and all those other things. So that's just on the dragon aspect. And then you have the king spirit aspect that breaks off in 2 lineages as far as the dark sun and the white sun, Elvis and Chuck Berry and those things. But so Back to the Future, Elon Musk has already been shown as Marty McFly in one aspect, and then you have goofball Erica Kirk showing herself in all black and getting all whatever. She is Marty McFly in another aspect. She's also more than likely the Black Widow who kills her lovers and whatever else, that eats her lovers afterwards, so to speak. And that would be where Charlie Kirk is a lavender, rainbow breeder, and whatever else. So, that's your Lavendaria, and that's your Follow the Man with a Pitcher of Waters. There can be different pitchers of water being shown. The currency is one. The currency is connected to money, which is for the love of money is the root of evil. And that evil is tied to your Dr. Evil, Amazon Bezos, and your Elon Mao and Elon Musk and whatever. Elon Mao. And that Mao has been signed with a peace deal in the MOU C for the C section for that Disney. And that's where Elon Musk has been shown attacking Iran, or however the story was told, but you want to go look that up. So the Dawn's Light is kind of going into that house of cards at 21. Blackjack, Jack and Jill, Upon the Hill. And Jack and Jill, Upon the Hill is tied into your Hillary Clinton and the Monica Lewinsky and the blackmail situations and those types of things. And this is where they're all kind of coming in. It's those final pieces and whatever else. So as these final pieces seem like they'll just be like overnight, or they're obviously, as we've been tracking and since the trumpet sounded, when it started these things in 2021, but things happened in 2020 that were significant, but then also before that, as the Obama nation came and the dark sun, the blood moons, the millennium, millennial, the Y2K, all these different things, the 9/11, the burning bush, the Patriot Act. Either way, so some of us have stepping outside of the box, the cult, the church in a way, and we have taken the Jesus that is within us, and we have searched through the truth and grace upon this earth. We have gone upon the lie that is placed upon the earth, where the Satan holds the truth, so to speak, and that lie is your library, where you can read this, that, and the other, and you get another sense of history and science and these things as your mind is expanded by outside of the box teachers that are teaching not what the school is teaching, not teaching what the hospital is teaching, not teaching what the gym is teaching, all these other things. Okay, so that's where your thing has been divided, mixed up, and taken from you. All right, so this is kind of where things are being rearranged, and the invisible is being made visible, and whatever. And as the visible is made invisible, those who have been programmed not to see and hear, they get more blind and more dumb. Okay, and that's what Jesus also tells you get dumb over dumber. All right. Blind leading blind doesn't sound too good. That's a double blinded, and you don't even have that single eye. And Jesus tells you got to get to that single eye, and that's also tying into the Jacob and the eye, the middle eye, and the pineal, and those things. And you got to realize that we're the same but different. We are mirror projections, and we do this, the world moves. All right. So when we come together, things stand still. So as you're being this way, you're this way, and then that way, and then all of a sudden you're like blind already. But if you are working, you get that Chinese eye, you get you're on that high slope, right? And you look up, all of a sudden your right hand's gone. What's going on here? And all of a sudden it's a digital hand. All right, so this is a digital. We're the Force. We're being turned into the Luke Skywalker. We're given our power back, our Jedi powers, all right, so to speak. Our Jabbi powers. The Jabbi powers is where you have the power and force to communicate anywhere in the world to anybody, all right? And it's going to be forced upon you in one way, shape, or form. As the World Cup runneth over and we got this virus going, this virus going, this virus going, this virus going, everybody go home. Well, we got to take a time of reflection because we just went to America. So we got to come back and look at ourselves. That that little Crapture rating. So, we have Elon Musk connected to turning 55 this year, and the coordinates on Back to the Future is November 12th, 1955. November 12th is the so-called downloading date for your Back to the Future, or for your GTA 6, for the 11/19 release. And then you have 9/28 on the time sequence. That's September 28th, maybe for the Sepulchre. And then that's the 9th year for the woman clothed in the sun, as far as in the heavens and such. And then you have the Justin Sun here with the Tron and the T-Rex and all this shit that's going to be lining up soon enough. Well, it's lining up now, but either way, folks. The 9/28 is the flip on the 6/28, which is Elon Musk's birthday. When he turns 55, the 55 is the flip on the 22. And the 11/19 release date for GTA 6 is on 22 month of Dawn's administration this time. So, we're here, folks. So, either way, we'll end it here. I think we've gotten enough rabbit trolls, I think. Let me just double check here on a few things. The Japan, America, Venezuela, that would be kind of the everything coming to the subsurface level, subsurface level. And then you have the Russia going to Cuba, Venezuela connecting to Iran in one way, shape, or form. And then the hypersonic missiles being taken there, and however they're working these things. But and then you have the District of Columbia, and you have Colombia with the Petro Augusto, or whatever his name is, Gustavo. The Gus is tied to your sick, and the sick is cool, tied to your ice. The Deer Boy, and the Deer Boy, the El Deerly, the Eldeers. Either way, just keeps connected for your matrix, so you hopefully understand. But we'll see. Oh, we'll wrap it up here.